On Global TV News Prime, let's take a look at the top stories. Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark this year's International Day of the Girl Child. Federal government is set to start picking out of school children. In business, Elon Musk unveils a next-generation humanoid robot. And on the foreign scene, South Africa persecutors to pursue criminal charges against President Cyril Ramaphosa. In sports, Cole Palmer voted as EA Sports Player of the Month for September. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. Now the news in full. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark this year's International Day of the Girl Child today, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has called for increased attention and support for girls' rights worldwide. Chief of the Field Office for Southwest Nigeria, Celine Laferriere, emphasized the importance of empowering girls and ensuring their protection, respect, and equal opportunity. This year's theme, Girls' Vision for the Future, reflects the findings of UNICEF analysts that highlights the resilience and hopelessness of girls despite the challenge they face. Federal government is now set to start picking out of school children from the streets starting from 15th of October 2024. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy, disclosed this at the unveiling of Girl Child Education Ambassador organized by the Nigerian Governors Forum, which was held at the banquet hall of the Aso Villa in Abuja. Over now to the National Orientation Agency, NOA, has flagged off campaign on the new national anthem and national values charter, NVC, in Gombe as a blueprint to guide Nigerians in their daily lives. Flagging off the campaign by Director General of the agency, Dr. Lanre Isa Anelu, says the NVC was designed to promote moral, ethical and cultural values among Nigerians. Represented by the Executive Director in charge of Research, Planning and Strategy, Nura Yusuf Kobi, he says the main focus of the chapter is to build the character of Nigerians by promoting a national value system that guides the behavior of leaders and citizens. The ruling All Progressive Congress has stated that the Tinubu-led administration's policies are not anti-people, noting that the present administration's focus on uplifting the socio-economic well-being shortly. Recall that People's Democratic Party Chairman, Senator Adolphus Obara, expressed concerns over the country's deteriorating socio-economic situation, which he blamed on policies of the APC-led government. Reacting to the former Senate President's allegations, the APC Director of Publicity, Bala Ibrahim, says the ruling party had no intention of jeopardizing democracy. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has declared that market forces will stabilize the price of fuel soon. Akpabio, who made the declaration during media briefing, hinged the market forces on deregulation of which, according to him, would not lead to sufficient increase in fuel price. Kike Lomo Okere has details.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, explained that the removal of the petroleum subsidy is a necessary step to redirect funds to more critical areas. Akpabio, who spoke in response to a question on the recent fuel prices by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, stated that the removal of subsidy means Nigeria will need to tighten their belts.
If you look at, I haven't actually assessed what is happening in terms of pump price increase, but it's not pump price increase, it's deregulation. If you are taking away the continuous subsidy and then you want people to pay for the actual price of what we consume, it means if you have 5 cars, you will now use 1 or 2. You understand? It simply means that you are going to stop the idea of subsidy in order to make sure that the monies are used for other things.
He added that an increase in product availability will eventually lead to lower prices. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kike, for that report. Over now, the All Progressive Congress has suspended the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Hannington Lekpobiri, and the party's 2019 governorship candidate in Bayelsa State, David Leon, for alleged anti-party activities. The chairman of APC in Ekomoro local government area, Senator Martin Enikeneme, says the action was a sequel to a report of the disciplinary committee set up in accordance with Article 21(3)(I) of the party's constitution 2022 as amended. Governor of Benue State, Hyacinth Alia, says the Senate Minority Leader, Abba Moro, PDP, Benue South, misinformed the Senate over the just concluded local government election in the state. Alia stated this in a statement signed by his chief press secretary, Troso Kalu. The governor recalled that Moro, while moving a motion on the floor of the Senate, described the election as a charade and sham. He also recalled that the lawmaker also called for the suspension of federal allocation to local councils in the state. The National Working Committee, NWC, of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, led by Debo Ologunogba, have appointed Muhammad to replace Damagun. This followed the rowdy session that led to the division in the ranks of the party. While announcing the appointment of the new chairman, Ologunogba says the appointment, which takes place immediate effect, is pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution of the PDP, as amended in 2017. The development was followed by the suspension of Damagun National Secretary, Senator Samuel Ayaun. Katsina State Governor Diko Rada has declared his readiness to combat human trafficking, sexual and gender-based violence, and violence against persons in the state. He made the declaration while hosting the State Task Force Committee led by Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Fidela Diko in his office. Rada commended the task force for his achievement in rehabilitating victims and mitigating the effects of child abuse and trafficking in the state. The Federal Capital Territory Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, has reiterated the command's commitment to continue engaging stakeholders to enhance security strategies and promote community policing initiatives. The commissioner made this known at assessment visit to Buhari and Ushafa community in Abuja. Queen Agaba tells us more.
On assessment visits to Buhari and Ushafa communities in the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, says the visit underscores the command's commitment to ensuring peace and security across the FCT, especially in communities facing challenges. He says the command will engage with traditional rulers, youth groups, and residents of Buhari and Ushafa communities in addressing their concerns on security situations as well as evaluate ongoing deployment of officers.
This is a very big area, vast landmarks, and you can see the hills everywhere. So these are typical areas for this kind of crime we are talking about, kidnapping, robberies, and especially for these bandits that come around. I've seen the deployment. I've spoken with the DPO. I will, just like I mentioned to him some few minutes ago, we'll be deploying technology to assist us. We'll be flying drones. The drone team will be coming around to see it. We'll be taking coordinates of important areas so that officers who have not been here before can get instruction from us and move to areas quickly.
Olatunji highlighted the importance of collaboration with the community, urging residents to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
The Federal Ministry of Justice, in conjunction with the Imo State Ministry of Justice, have embarked on the implementation of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. The event, which took place in Owerri, Imo State capital, is aimed at ensuring efficient management of criminal justice institutions, speedy dispensation of justice, as well as protection of the rights and interests of the suspect. Our reporter, Amarachi Ibe, has the details. You're watching News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Prime returns, Falana says fixing of fuel prices by NNPC illegal. Details of these and more after this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of News Prime. Thank you for staying with us. On our business decks, tech billionaire Elon Musk have unveiled the next generation humanoid robot, Optimus, declaring its capabilities as boundless and setting the stage for a new era in robotics. Musk made the bold announcement at the highly anticipated We Robot event, just as the tech tycoon unveiled his company's latest innovations in self-driving vehicles with two new autonomous models, the Cybercab robot taxi and the Robovan. A Nigerian lawyer and human rights activist, Femi Falana San, has knocked the decision of Nigerian National Petroleum Company to fix prices of imported fuel and locally refined fuel, which are illegal, null and void. In a statement, Falana says the move contravenes the provisions of Section 205 of the Petroleum Industry Act. The federal government has granted permission to petroleum marketers to lift petrol directly from the Dangote refinery without going through the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. This confirms the speculations that the NNPC will no longer be the sole off-taker of Dangote fuel. In a statement, the Minister of Finance and Chairman of the Naira Crude Sale Implementation Committee, Wale Adun, gave an update on the takeoff of crude purchase and product sales in Naira transactions. The Assistant Control General, Nigerian Customs Service Southwest Zone, Seidu Yusuf, disclosed the service commitment to deploy available technological devices to achieve efficient border control and tackle smuggling headlong. Yusuf equally lauded the Ogun Area 2 Command for achieving a record of over 20 billion naira in revenue for the federal government between January and August, as against 14 billion naira recorded within the same period last year. Yusuf stated this during his appraisal visit to the command in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Italian flag carrier News Airline have announced its plan to commence direct flight operations from Italy to Lagos, Nigeria. The airline, through its handler Sky Masters, made this announcement at the launch of the airline's direct flight to Nigeria in Ikeja, Lagos, with stakeholders in the industry, regulators, and prospective clients. Sky Master, an aviation service provider, noted that News Airlines will commence its scheduled operation directly to Nigeria on October 30th, flying once a week for the first month, while its frequency will increase to 3 times by the second month of its operation. On our foreign news now, Israel has slammed a UN probe which concluded it was deliberately seeking to destroy healthcare in the Gaza Strip and abusing Palestinian detainees, branding the findings outrageous. The United Nations Independent International Commission of the Inquiry said Israel had penetrated a concerted policy to destroy Gaza's healthcare system. It added that in a report that the country is committing war crimes and the crime against humanity of extermination with relentless and deliberate attacks on medical personnel and facilities. South African prosecutors say they will not pursue criminal charges against President Cyril Ramaphosa in relation to the controversial farm theft scandal that nearly brought down the president 2 years ago. The former spy chief led a criminal complaint against Ramaphosa, accusing him of committing irregularities in trying to hide the theft of $4 million in cash at his game farm in the northeastern Limpopo province. The president denied any wrongdoing, saying that the money stolen from his sofa in 2020 came from the legitimate sale of buffaloes at his Pala Pala farm. France announced new curfew measures to quell civil unrest on its Caribbean island in Mauritius, which has been hit by violent protests due to anger over rising living costs. Local French administration of Mauritius said it was banning public gatherings until October 14th and banning the purchase of products that could be used for arson attack. It added that protests had disrupted flights at Mauritius Airport and that as a result of this, flights were being redirected to the neighboring French island of Guadeloupe. In sports now, Bayelsa Queens and Heartland Queens have secured spots in the quarterfinals of the ongoing 4th edition of the Bestie Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. Both teams emerged as top teams in their respective groups to breath in the quarterfinal. Bayelsa Queens demonstrated their dominance in Group B to finish with 9 points, while Heartline Queens of Owerri secured the lead in Group B, also with a maximum of 9 points. Cole Palmer has been voted the EA Sports Player of the Month for September 2024. The announcement made via the official EPL website confirms that Palmer led the Premier League in both goals and goal involvement during the September, scoring 5 times and providing 1 assist in just 4 appearances. Palmer's most remarkable feat came during Chelsea's 6-1 victory over Brighton and Hove Albion, where he set a new Premier League record by becoming the first player to score 4 goals in the first half of a match. Now, as News Prime comes to an end, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. We brought to you that Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark this year's International Day for the Girl Child. Federal government is set to start picking out of school children. In business, Elon Musk unveils next generation humanoid robot. And on our foreign scene, South African prosecutors to pursue criminal charges against President Cyril Ramaphosa. And in sports, we brought to you that Cole Palmer voted as EA Sports Player of the Month for September. And that's it on News Prime. It came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we are on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nicomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using the Global TV engine and the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.